Welcome to the Bitfolio Academy Coaching Community May 1st newsletter. The focused article for this month is Crypto Growth Attracts Blackrock and Fidelity. Blockchain technology is creating a financial and technological revolution. Adoption is growing rapidly, and investors are eager to invest in crypto assets. Last week, due to customer demand, Blackrock, with $10 trillion in assets under management, and Fidelity, with $11 trillion in assets under management, have created a crypto industry ETFs. BlackRock introduced its new ETF product called iShares Blockchain and Tech ETF, IBLC, along with a research report entitled The Great Acceleration: 3 Permanent Transformations. In this report, it says that the preference of millennials and emerging market consumers for DeFi and virtual wallets is surging. And it says that markets have not priced the impact of blockchain adopters. The fund will allow investors to get exposure to crypto by owning stock in companies that invest in crypto and companies that support the blockchain industry. Fidelity also created 2 new crypto industry ETFs, namely the Crypto Industry and Digital Payments ETF, as well as the Metaverse ETF. Neither fund allows direct investing in crypto, rather 80% of the investment is in companies that are focused on the crypto industry. In addition to the announcement of 2 new ETF products, Fidelity also announced that it'll be allowing their 401k accounts to invest in Bitcoin directly. For the first time, Fidelity will allow 401k investors to buy BTC up to 20% of their portfolio. MicroStrategy will be the first company to participate in the new program, offering this option to their employees. As BlackRock and Fidelity respond to customer demand and create more and more crypto products for investors, more and more assets will flow into the crypto industry. The crypto industry is poised to greatly expand over the coming months and years. Only time will tell how big the crypto industry will become and how disruptive blockchain technology will be. In on-chain analysis, for this past couple of weeks, the biggest winner is the Solana blockchain, with 240% increased in daily active addresses. This is just from the last 2 weeks. However, the Solana blockchain failed to reach consensus on May the 1st, or actually April the 30th, and had to be restarted after being down for 7 hours. Daily transactions were down 61% as a result. There's a news article that I posted later on in the newsletter that talks about how the sale of NFTs is what brought Solana down. The biggest loser in on-chain analysis is Cronos blockchain, down 37% in daily transactions in the last couple of weeks. Cronos also suffered, the Cronos blockchain and the Crow token also suffered from the announcement that Crypto.com was going to lower its rewards on their metal cards, their Visa cards. So if we scroll down to take a look at some of the other action, Avalanche also was down almost 10% in daily transactions from 2 weeks ago, and down 12% in daily active addresses. The Tron daily active addresses down 16.7% in the last 2 weeks. Polygon was up 13% in daily transactions in the last 2 weeks. And Near was up 48% in daily transactions and up 16% in unique addresses. If we take a look at the top DeFi blockchains, the biggest winner was Terra with $28 billion in total value locked. This is up 8% in the last 2 weeks, and now it has 14.3% of the total value locked of all of the total. This is up 14 or 15%. The biggest loser in DeFi blockchains is Phantom at $4 billion in total value locked. This is down 31% in the last 2 weeks. Waves blockchain also continued to decline, down 29.6% in total value locked in the last 2 weeks. Kronos was also down 19% in total value locked. So if we look at NFT marketplaces over the last 30 days, OpenSea did a total volume in the last 30 days of $393 million. Looks Rare, almost 80 million in volume over the last 30 days, 79.7 million. The total combined was $473 million combined between OpenSea and Looks Rare. And this is up 16% in the last 2 weeks. OpenSea daily users, on the other hand, according to the app Radar, is down 10% in the last 2 weeks, while daily volume is up. Magic Eden, again, the top marketplace for NFTs on Solana blockchain, the daily users and the daily number of daily users was up and the volume was up, but the Solana restart on April 30th caused the numbers to drop. So I didn't report the numbers this month because of the drop on April 30th. Looks Rare is up 348% in terms of daily users, as reported by DApp Radar, and $44 million in daily volume, also up considerably. In terms of technical analysis, the overall mile-high view, Bitcoin turned bearish on April the 7th. BTC remained in a bearish trend since April 7th, but for now, BTC seems to be finding support around $38,000. Bitcoin has held up better than the altcoins, however. The total crypto market turned bearish on April the 9th, just 2 days after Bitcoin turned bearish. Since the last newsletter on April 15th, the total has lost $1 billion in value. The bears are in control as investors de-risk their portfolios in the face of the headwinds from the Federal Reserve tightening and from the expected 5 basis point interest rate hike in the first week of this month, May. Total is currently finding support at around 1.7 trillion. However, this morning it's slipping some from 1.7 trillion. In the top stories this week in the news, Metaplex Candy Machine takes down Solana for 7 hours. So on May 1st, botting on the Metaplex Candy Machine program took the Solana network down for 7 hours. Validator operators successfully completed a cluster restart of mainnet at 3 a.m. UTC following a 7-hour outage after the network failed to reach consensus. DeFi Capital raised $650 million as billions flow into the Web3 tech space. On April the 27th, Dragonfly Capital announced that it raised $650 million for its third venture fund. Dragonfly has invested in Near Protocol, Avalanche, and Dune Analytics. Meta's Reality Labs loses $2.9 billion in Q1 of 2022. Reality Labs is formerly known as Facebook's Oculus division. Zuckerberg remains optimistic about the future profitability from the metaverse while posting huge losses. The market did not respond well to this news. Decentral Bank launches the USN stablecoin, a near-native stablecoin on the Near blockchain. USN will be backed by a reserve fund that contains Near and UST. USN is similar to UST in that that's backed by Luna. USN's peg to the US dollar will be secured through on-chain arbitrage and self-balancing reserve fund. The Near used to mint USN goes into a reserve fund, however, rather than being burned as it does in the UST Luna model. Bitcoin is now legal tender in the Central African Republic. the Central African Republic has adopted Bitcoin as an official currency. The CAR is one of the poorest and least developed countries in the world. Goldman Sachs explores the tokenization of real assets. On April the 27th, Goldman Sachs said it's examining NFTs, particularly the tokenization of real assets, as the investment bank dives deeper into the crypto space. We're actually exploring NFTs in the context of financial instruments, is the quote from Goldman Sachs. The NFT sector is projected to move around $800 billion over the next couple of years. In August 2021, the total trading volume of NFTs rose to over $5 billion, sparking NFT summer. According to the report by CoinGecko, the NFT market is now expected to move to more than $800 billion in the coming 2 years. Goldman Sachs offers first Bitcoin-backed loan. The banking giant joins crypto-friendly banks such as Silvergate Capital Corp in offering Bitcoin-backed US dollar loans. Blackrock and Fidelity create blockchain ETFs. Both introduce blockchain and crypto industry ETFs in the last 2 weeks. PCE index jumped 6.6% in March. Energy goods and services are up 141% annualized. The U.S. economy shrank by 1.4% in the first quarter of this year. One economist says that interest rate hikes have consequences. Deutsche Bank reports that recession risks are high. Tron announced its USDD stablecoin. On Twitter, USDD will be launched on May 5th. USDD will mimic UST in terms of architecture, burning the Tron token TRX. The Brazilian Senate approved a bill to regulate the crypto sector. The bill establishes a cryptocurrency legal framework in Brazil. Also, in the bill, green crypto mining would be tax-free. Hedge funds stampede into the Terra DeFi. The Fireblocks CEO says that over $250 million was deployed in the first 72 hours by hedge funds and wealthy investors, and there's been $500 million flow into Terra from our platform in the last week, says the Fireblocks CEO. Fidelity will allow 401ks to buy BTC. Fidelity offers Bitcoin to customers for the first time. You can buy BTC up to 20% of your portfolio. Retirement accounts, the 401ks, can do that now. Elon Musk buys Twitter for $44 billion. Of course, that's big news in the last 2 weeks. The deal brings arguably the internet's most influential platform under the control of one of the world's richest people. The Twitter board of directors unanimously agreed to Musk's offer. Coinbase launched the beta version of its NFT marketplace. Built on the Ethereum blockchain, the beta version of the marketplace features digital works that you can browse from artists such as Cool Cats, Doodles, and Azuki. Coinbase is currently selecting beta testers from a waitlist and will not charge transaction fees for purchases during the beta. Steppen continues to make big gains. The Steppen app is making big gains in Apple's App Store, and the Steppen token went from $2.30 2 weeks ago to $3.30 today. Moonbird NFTs launch with a big bang. The Moonbird NFTs features 10,000 pixelated images of owls, and it launched on the Ethereum blockchain. The NFTs sold for 2.5 Ether each, but quickly started being traded for tens of thousands of dollars. A few days after launch, the cheapest Moonbirds sold for around 20 ETH. On April 30th, Moonbird number 2,642 sold for 350 Ether, $1 million on OpenSea. Polygon launches SuperNets. On April 22nd, Polygon launched SuperNets with a $100 million investment fund. SuperNets are dedicated blockchains that are run for specific applications or projects or use cases. Supernets can be secured by Polygon's Matic token. Bitcoin's correlation with the NASDAQ 100 is still very high. The 40-day correlation between NASDAQ 100 index and BTC continues to be high. The Fear and Greed Index 22, extreme fear for crypto. As the Bitcoin price drops below 38,000, the Fear and Greed Index remains unchanged from 2 weeks ago. Still extreme fear on May the 1st. The Fear and Greed Index for the stock market is at 34. Fear also unchanged from 2 weeks ago. On April the 4th, Neutrino USD lost its peg. The Waves price dropped from $61 on March 31st to $25 on April 9th. Currently, Waves is trading at $13. This is what happens when you're a stablecoin and you lose your peg. Anyway, so that's a story for this week also. Waves total value lock spiked to 4.2 billion, now only 1.5 billion. The Waves blockchain saw a massive growth in DeFi during the last week in March, but since the high, Waves has lost $1.7 billion in total value locked. Veers Finance is still experiencing a liquidity freeze. Can Ethereum's merge kick off DeFi summer? Ethereum's merge could happen before the end of the summer. It's projected to be sometime perhaps in August of this year. After the Ethereum's merge, some analysts are predicting staking yields in the range of 10 to 15%. And that's it for the newsletter this month. I hope you enjoyed it. It's available on my website, bitfolio.biz/member. It's available on my blog also, bitfolio.biz/blog. I hope you enjoyed this newsletter. All the best.